Welcome back for another overnighter. I was all week I've been planning to go to Linvale again, have another go for the carp because it's reopened after spawning. But today, earlier today, I decided I'll have a nip down to Founders on the Antrobus Golf Course, Founders Pool, and I've got in. There's only 2 people on for fishing for the cats, so I've decided to stay here. The intentions were to have a go for the carp on here, but speaking to the 2 blokes who've been here for 24 hours, they've had no carp and 5 or 6 catch each, they said, up to £14. So because it's that humid tonight, I think it could be a good night to have a go for the cats. So I think that's the plan. I've got a kilo of boilies, crab and something, so they're a bit fishy, and I've got some chop worms with me, and the 2 guys fishing opposite have kindly given me some halibut pellets. Got here at 4:15ish, and then signed in as normal. Had a chat to the 2 guys who were fishing, and then had a quick walk round, and in the lilies there must have been what, 11 or 12 carp, all just basking in the sun in the lilies. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my rod out, strip it down, just put a size 6 hook on probably, and I'm going to put a few lobworms on. I'm just going to try and drop it in the lily pads in the gaps, and not too far in the lily so I can at least be able to get the carp out, but round the edges. I'm just going to try and see if I can tease a carp out before I put my catfish stuff on. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go for an hour, I think. Well, it's just gone 6 o'clock. I've give it probably just under an hour trying to get the carp off the top in the lily pads, but just having none of it. I was dropping it about a foot away from the carp, and they were just sat there looking at it for about 10 minutes and just turning away and turning around and just disappearing out of sight. So I tried that a good few times. Anyway, they just don't seem interested in it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pack all me, I'm going to dismantle my rods and set them up free running ready for the cats. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that now. I'm going to pack my rods down from my previous sessions and just set them up ready for the catfish later on, because it's 6:15 now. I must be getting towards bite time. I should imagine about 8 o'clock onwards is a good time for the cats once the sun's gone down. Well, it's about 6:30 and I'm just setting my rigs up to catch some catfish, and dropped a free line worm in the margin and ended up with this 11.5 pound catfish. Yeah. I'm not used to holding these things. Let's have another go. There we are. Bloody hell. As you can tell, I'm not used to catching these. There we are, it's a bit better. Nice little cat to start off with. Hopefully get a couple more tonight. There we go. First catfish for a while I've caught. Oh, I'm struggling holding this. And you're little in as well. There we are. Anyway, let's get it back. I've had it out a while. Well, I've had nothing since that one off the edge of the peg at about 6:30, and it's took me now till 4 o'clock to actually bag another one. This one's £8, 4 ounce with a little one. Good. Made up now. I've had nothing, and he actually moved this rod about 45 minutes ago because I thought I should have had a bite by now really. So I moved one of my rods, and sure enough that's the one that's gone. It's like I say, under less than an hour later. So it did pay off having that little move in my rod and a rebait. So I don't know when they stop feeding, what time cats stop feeding, whether it's as soon as it comes light or when the sun comes up, I don't know. So I've got to about 10 o'clock in the morning anyway, then I've got to go home. But yeah, nice having another fish. Been a few hours since I caught that catfish now. It's probably 7:30 I think. Not that much has happened. They had another drop run where something took some line off me, but struck into it. There was nothing on the end, so I don't know what happened there. A bit knackered. I've had about 2 hours sleep. My hay fever's absolutely killing me, as you can probably tell in my voice. The two blokes that were on, one of them had nothing last night and the other one had 2. He had a £17 7 or something like that, I think he said. He had a decent one last night, a 17 pounder, so he's done well. I just had that one through the night. But as of speaking now, a big pile of bubbles has just come up over my spot, so there's still a chance of getting one, I suppose. Probably give it another hour anyway.